Good morning, teachers and friends. Today, me and my groupmate Ryan, we're both from Santa Laurencia School, Alam Sutra, from the same class, grade 11-3. Today, we're going to be discussing about the study of Pleurotus ostreatus mycelium as a binding component of biofoam. We chose this topic because pollution is a major problem, specifically plastic pollution. This is because plastic takes at least hundreds of years before it decomposes, and with big countries with massive populations such as Indonesia producing about 67.8 million tons of plastic waste per annum. This severely lowers the quality of life for people, more specifically, people of lower income. The material used for packaging, mainly plastic, are not biodegradable. After use, plastic and other packaging material are dumped into landfills and are not integrated back into nature. As for the reason why we chose Pleurotus ostreatus as the alternative, it is because of the many benefits it has, such as being biodegradable, healthy, low energy, sustainable, and affordable. This creates an end product that is able to safeguard packages like that are inanimate and organic. Organic such as food. Pleurotus ostreatus as a binding agent for agricultural waste creates an end product with characteristics of being soft yet firm, thus being able to protect a package inside of it from external influences while being soft enough so as to not damage the product itself. There is also potential for molding structures with the mycelium, making the product very versatile. As for the research scope, we intend to investigate the physical qualities of the end product alternative made from Pleurotus ostreatus through a series of tests such as the tensile strength, the pressure test, and the burn test. Through these tests, we'll figure out how does the amount of mushroom spawn have an effect on the strength, how is the mycelium able to keep the material from falling apart, how does the mycelium strengthen the material against pressure, is the material environmentally friendly, what is the ideal formulation for a stronger material. Now with Ryan for limitations.
All right, thank you. There are two primary limitations, one being time and materials. We have limited resources. Obviously, we're students. And as for time, we were given 3 months for this project, and the growth time for the biofoam itself takes around 4 to 5 weeks. That limits us to the variation or repetition for this experiment. The second limitation being equipment. There is a lack of tensile strength equipment. Um, we decided to experiment with observations, and with this pressure test, we were able to make a contraption of a tunnel and a mass dropped into our product to see the pressure strength of the product. Sorry. The basic theory behind this is Pleurotus ostreatus mycelium makes a biofoam strong enough to hold contents in a package while being biodegradable and compostable after its life cycle. The fibrous structures of Pleurotus ostreatus mycelium makes the biofoam an attractive option for producing biodegradable composites, which can be used in a variety of applications, such as insulation, construction, textile, or mainly packaging, which aims to be an alternative to styrofoam. Our hypothesis is that the Pleurotus ostreatus mycelium will be more durable due to the mycelium binding the material together and creating a biofoam, which is basically a material that is strengthened by fibers within it that is able to be an alternative for the other materials of packaging or textile or any other purpose, and particularly styrofoam, because styrofoam is not biodegradable and is harmful to the environment. Our methodology for this project is, first we gather the material and equipment. after which we started creating the biofoam. In order for that, we bought a bag of substrate and sterilize it. Afterwards, we distribute it across the mold, and we added water and sugar for nutrition for the mycelium to grow. And we closed it. No, sorry, no. We added the spawn first. It's called inoculation, which is afterwards we close the entire product in cling wrap and we poke holes in order for the mycelium to receive oxygen from outside. One primary tip is to put something above the substrate or the product or the mold in order to keep moisture. And since mushrooms don't need that much oxygen to grow, it is an effective way to stop fruiting bodies to grow and distracts it from the primary purpose of making a strong material. After 4 to 5 weeks of letting the mycelium grow, we then dry the material until it doesn't grow any mushrooms anymore. After which we conduct physical testing, which is the tensile strength, which we observe how it has tensile strength qualities. And then we do the drop test with the weight and the tunnel. And we do toxicity testing, which is burning the material and seeing if there are any other fumes that are not carbon dioxide, which there's none, because the material is organic and it doesn't emit any toxic fumes other than carbon dioxide. As for the equation used for the pressure test testing, we use the equation for potential energy and equate that with the force absorbed by the material and the depth of the dent created by the material. And yeah, afterwards we divide them with the area, then we can get the pressure strength of the material. Next. Right, so the independent variables are the F1 mushroom spawn used. We used corn. So we used around 6, 10, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, and 13% of the substrate mass to the F1 spawn used. As for the total substrate, the water we use is 190 grams if the substrate dries to around 260.5 grams. We did this because we wanted to do 300 grams substrate, then added 150 grams of water. But if the substrate dries, we need to compensate for that. Also, the mold is 27 by 20 by 4. The dependent variable is the tensile strength, but mainly the impact resistance, because we tested that. And, yeah. The control variable is the type of mushroom we use is Pleurotus ostreatus. The creation method was previously mentioned. The sterilization method is just putting it in an oven for a certain period of time at a certain temperature to kill the mushroom. And the percentage of water to substrate is 50%, like previously mentioned in the independent variable, and 10% of sugar used per batch. So our analysis is that we found a positive correlation between the mass of the biofoam and the pressure strength of the biofoam. This is due to the fact that materials that are heavier tend to absorb more, are better at absorbing force than thinner materials. Why is this? Why is this chart like going down and up? Well, it's due to several factors. It can be from the fruiting bodies. It can also be from the mushroom itself breaking down the material. And also the primary factor of which being evaporation. Water can evaporate and cause the mycelium to grow less, or it can cause the substrate to have less mass in general. As for the recommendations, the primary goal of this report is to showcase the full potential of the mycelium material biofoam for packaging. For further research, along with creation methods and use of mycelium material for widespread use in order to replace styrofoam or plastic as it is more environmentally friendly. The conclusion for the project is that we found the biofoam lacking in tensile strength. We recommend that there is another binder other than Right guys, this is me after being rudely interrupted by the Zoom call ending. I just want to add that the tensile strength of the material is not that impressive. I would recommend that you add other fibers to the biofoam in order to aid the tensile strength of the material. Also, water and substrate mass, like previously mentioned, is very detrimental to the strength of the material. I also want to add that more spawn doesn't necessarily mean more overall strength of the material, like tensile or pressure strength or impact resistance. It's more about the even, well spread inoculation points that make the material more coherent and more intact. It gives the material more structure and more fibers that bind the material, creating a stronger material overall. As for the formulation, like I previously mentioned, all three of those points are really important. You would want to add maybe another fiber, or if that's not an option, you could optimize the amount of water or substrate or like the end mass of the biofoam to be as maximum as possible, as it creates a better biofoam in general, because it can withstand more pressure. And yeah, that's basically it. Also, I want to mention the impressive strength of the biofoam. It's 4 to 15 psi, which is very strong for a mycelium biofoam. Typically, what I see from research, the biofoam or mycelium bricks that are created are about 3 to 4 psi, the pressure strength. This is a bit stronger due to the fact that we made the material a bit softer and it can absorb more force. Right, that's about it. I've finished all my talking points. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoy it. I know my partner is not here to end the video with me, but it's all good. I hope you enjoy. God bless and have a good rest of your day. Thank you.